I'm your host, Rhett Lundy. This is Chossy Conversations.
And I'm your host, Logan McGaha.
And we are coming at you today on this beautiful, fine Monday night here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We're going to get guests on soon, I swear. Well, we are definitely going to get guests on soon.
I mean, I hope. I'm getting kind of tired of just talking to you.
Yeah. Oh, it hurts.
No, I'm just kidding.
On the new year? What's wrong with you? We're starting a new decade.
Dude, I know. We're going right into the new decade of climbing.
Yep.
It's going to be great.
So we're going to get some interviews on here soon.
Hopefully in Ouray.
So we have posted an Instagram post about what our big news is. And our big news is that Ouray Ice Park contacted us, and they want to help us get press passes for the event, and they also want to help us get our podcast off and running, which is crazy because it's like the biggest ice fest in the world.
Yeah, I am.
And we might be press at it, which is freaking terrifying.
Yeah, the thought of being press, just in any capacity, like this just started out as us talking about climbing.
Yeah, this literally just started as drinking and talking about climbing and mostly just bitching about, things.
Life.
Everything. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting that Ouray wants to pick this up, and we're really looking forward to meeting him out there. And I was reading some about what we have to do, and we have to go to press debriefings and stuff like that in the morning, and there's special kind of training we have to go through for safety for press things. I don't know, it's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be an absolute experience that I for one can't wait for.
Yeah, and then we're 20 days out.
Yeah
20.
It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah,
I'm already
20 days out.
Really stoked for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going to bring the Stoke with me all the way from Tennessee. Stoke and sunshine. That's what I'm bringing to Ouray.
Stoke and sunshine.
Yeah.
Ice and gloom.
Ice and gray, just gray everywhere.
I don't know. I think the atmosphere is gonna, because it is a festival. The atmosphere
is gonna be electrifying.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. No one's gonna be because everyone's gonna be so cold, and they're just gonna be amped to be climbing. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
That's our big news.
Yeah.
Big news then.
Very big news
in the Chossy Conversations world.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so let's bleed into our first topic here.
And what is our first topic?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Our first topic is Stefano Ghisolfi. We've mentioned him before. The man has returned. He's Italian by nature, Italian by breed. I don't know what you say. He's a
Sounds
hardcore
like you're
climber.
almost in love with this man.
I could be. He is beautiful. He is a beautiful man. I'm not gonna lie. He is. Maybe he's Italian. What can you do? It's ultimate competition. So, anyways, he.
No, you got to be a good old American red, white, and blue.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
American.
Yeah, American. Right down here in the south.
Yeah.
Southern Sandstone. No. So, anyways, Stefano Ghisolfi climbed Stoke in the Fire.
Okay.
Sayuna Valley or something like that. It's a place in Spain, I believe. And was the first ascent was by the one and only Chris Sharma,
who we have talked about incessantly.
Yeah, if at this point you don't know who Chris Sharma is and you listen to our podcast, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how you don't know who Chris Sharma is.
You need to be going and watching all kinds of videos of his.
Every single one. He is a purist of the highest form. He has an excellent view on climbing. Yeah,
it's got probably one of my favorite views.
Yeah, definitely, easily my favorite. He's the entire his entire viewpoint is something that I've studied for a long time. Yep, since I was a little kid, watching bootleg YouTube videos and stuff of him climbing. He was super young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great view. So anyways, Stefano Ghisolfi climbed Stoke in the Fire, 515B. He'd been projecting it for a little while, and the day that he sent it, there were actually wet holds on it, and he still climbed.
Jesus.
He still climbed it. 5th ascent ever.
That is insane. We went to Rocktown this weekend, and some of the holds were wet, and
they weren't even wet. They were mildly damp, and I was just greasing off everything.
Yeah,
yeah. And he climbed a 515B with wet holds, straight up.
That's insane.
Yeah, I can't imagine. At 515B, like a breeze can take you off the wall. I can't but I mean he can climb 515C. So if he can climb a 15C, he can probably climb a 15B with somewhat wet holds.
Yeah,
Which is just I don't know. That's a whole new level.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be curious to like actually watch it for myself just to see how he climbs on, these wet holds.
Yep. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think it got filmed. I hope so. Because that'd be a pretty cool video to watch.
Yeah.
So then we've also got this story of this lady down at the Red. God, what was her name? I already forgot. It's German. It's really long. I don't know. I already forgot. I cannot pronounce it, so it's not a big deal. She's awesome. And Logan, I think, is going to look it up for us. And
yeah.
Anyways, she's been down in the Red, crushing it. She's made a couple trips this year to the Red. Her first trip, she climbed a bunch of like 14As, was just knocking them down. And she just had her second trip in November, and she climbed Lucifer 514C. And let's see, she's working on Pure Imagination, which is another 514C. Yeah, she's crushing it right now. And those are the first like 14Cs she's climbed. So the fact that she's like crushing them in like a very short time frame in one trip is pretty phenomenal. So yeah, she's a German climber, and she's come over.
Was it Solveig?
Yeah, Solveig
Corhair.
Yeah.
Probably mispronouncing that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure I'm botching the crap out of this. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, she's been crushing hard. She's been climbing really, really hard at the Red. So making a name for herself.
I really need it. Like, I really want to go to the Red.
I know. We got to go on a trip.
Yeah, because out of all the places I've climbed in, like the Southeast so far, like that is, probably the pinnacle of climbing.
It's rated as one of the best like sport climbing spots in North America.
In the world. I've seen it on the top 10 list. It's like number 3.
Yeah, it's really good climbing.
Yeah, it's like what, 5 hours away is
like 4.5.
Yeah, it's probably even less from my parents' house in Sevierville.
Yeah.
I've just never been there.
Yeah. It's cool place.
Maybe that's something we can get together after Ouray.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Michigan ice doesn't work, we could make a trip to the Red instead.
I really hope that the Michigan Ice Fest...
Oh, I hope so. I would love to see Conrad.
Maybe if like a mysterious benefactor wanted to pay for the trip.
Oh, that would be nice. Are there any Bruce Waynes out there that are just itching to pay for our trip?
That wants to sponsor and be a paid sponsor
of
the Chossy Conversations.
Maybe
it's like a business.
Maybe we'll pick up Black Diamond when we're at...
that'd be nice.
Ouray. That'd be sick. I would,
North Face.
Yeah, we'll just move into my Subaru.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just move into the Subaru. Just be like, yep, we'll just live on the road, make tons of money, and just interview climbers all over.
So if you all want to see a travel podcast really, really soon, it's coming.
Write an email to your local billionaire or something.
Well, no,
petition for our funding.
They're going to get to see the mobile podcast. I think it's going to be really great.
Yeah, you guys are going to flip when you see the mobile podcast. It's going to be awesome. We're literally just going to be parked among like a bunch of ice climbers and just like have like a podcast station out of the back of a Subaru.
It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like we need to quit talking about Ouray so much.
No.
All our audience is getting jealous.
Yeah, but that brings the Stoke and hype for us to go to Ouray.
Yeah, bring the Stoke, guys.
And if anyone's going to be at Ouray that watches this, like, it's going to be really cool because we're going to be able to say, hey, we're here climbing with people that listen to us.
Yep.
And I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it. And in other news of our personal lives, Logan has joined the USA coaching team. Yep. Logan's very excited. Yeah, he's one of the USA coaches. We're very happy to have him a part of the team, and that the kids have already taken to you, which you already know most of them. I think you've coached all of them at one point or another.
But... I've coached a majority of them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really coached Austin, Xander, Caden.
Yep.
There's a couple that on there that I haven't. None of the Fujimotos.
Really?
Yeah. No. Oh, Shinya.
Yeah, I thought you at least coached Shinya.
Yeah. I mean, kid's a crusher. Yeah, I forgot about that because he's technically he goes to Christiana, so David DeWay.
Oh yeah.
Like he always he coaches Christiana, and Shinya just shows up for conditioning.
I gotcha.
So
yeah, he works hard. He works
he's
really hard. Yeah, I'm excited to have the Fujimotos for another season before they go back to Japan. So
yeah.
I didn't think I was going to get another full season with them, so I'm very excited that we got
Yeah,
another.
it's very awesome, and it's a great experience to actually be up in the USA position.
Yeah.
I want to do my best as a coach.
Yeah.
And I feel like I took to coaching really easily.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's a good fit. It's a good fit. It's going to be a lot of fun. So anyways, yeah, Logan's new USA coach. So you'll see him at comps. If we have listeners from other gyms, we travel around the Tennessee area a lot. And so
Southeast region, yeah.
Yep, Chattanooga. We hit up Chattanooga a few times this climbing season. So
we were just there a couple days ago.
Yeah, well, Logan and I hit Chattanooga a lot.
Yeah.
The USA team hits it like 2 comps.
Yeah, but
like
two comps
a season.
That's 4 times a year.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we're there like all the time. We were just at Rocktown, and man. So I was climbing on Guillotine V6. Yeah, you remember that lady that walked up?
You mean Guillotine?
Yeah, and I was like, "What is this one?" She's looking at the guy, and she goes, it's Guillotine or something. Like I was like,
no,
"Oh,
she said Guillotine."
Guillotine." I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay. It's pronounced Guillotine, whatever."
Yeah, it's French. You use half the letters. And
Younger
the other
rep,
half you just throw it away.
Younger rep would hate me for like correcting someone's like vocabulary or grammar. I hated when people always did that to me. Yeah. They'd say I used I instead of me, and I would just get infuriated.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, just lose it.
Well, I once had a boss, and I said something. And being from Sevier County, Tennessee, I sometimes speak poorly or wrong, I guess.
Accented.
Yes. Well, I mean, just vernacular. I get used to a very naturalistic way where I'm not thinking about grammar and syntax.
Right.
And I had this boss when I was working at Under Armour, and he called me out for it because he was a English major in college. Like that's what he focused in. And finally one day I was like, listen, I'm not in school. When I go to school, I speak in a proper way, and I get sick and tired of it, and I'm tired. And when I'm not at school and I'm not dealing with customers, I speak however I want to.
Right.
Like, I lost my crap on this guy. And he's like, dude, I was just messing with you. I was like, okay, wrong.
Yeah, dude. I can't stand that. When people say ain't a word, I'm like, yeah, it is down here.
Yeah. I mean, it is not.
It ain't.
It ain't.
Yeah. No.
It is not.
Okay. Grammar police.
Yeah.
Anywho, so we also have one other like bit of current event thing. So this place, where is it? Egypt?
Yeah,
is that right?
It's in the ancient Sinai Desert in the Sinai Mountains.
That's pretty cool.
So that
granite too, desert granite.
Desert granite. It looks a lot like it honestly reminds me of Moab and Indian Creek.
Yeah,
like in the tent of the rock and everything.
Yep.
But I mean, it's also it's a really cool place that the Sinai Mountains is actually in the Abrahamic faiths.
Right.
Yeah, that's where Moses went and got the 10 Commandments.
Yep. Oh, right on.
So
it's in like a biblical area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
very,
pretty cool.
Very biblical area.
That's pretty cool.
So,
deep history in that area, and now there's like really class climbing there.
Yeah, which I think that's one of the reasons why there was signs saying no climbing here.
Right.
Like, I guess like the same reason people don't climb some of the mountains in the Himalayas, religious
monuments. Yeah. And you said there's like big monoliths out there.
The one that they were climbing on was like 1,400.
1,400 foot monolith, man, that is stout.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, that's like just right under half of El Cap.
Yep.
So, by about 100 feet.
Yeah, that's big for a monolith.
Yeah. No, I mean, it 100% is.
I mean, monoliths can get pretty big. It's still big. Yeah, that's a big wall. That's an official, that's a big wall.
Yeah.
1,400 feet. Oof.
That's at least, 16 pitches?
I'd say about, yep.
If you go at about 80
yep.
per pitch.
Yeah.
As an average.
Yep. Get a lot nicer ropes than the ones that we have.
Yeah.
They're like old beaten up, like 10.1, 10.2, 60 meters.
I don't even have a rope.
Yeah, we just use mine, just a yellow one. Yeah. I need to get a new rope, man.
I need to get a rope. I need to start actually investing money in gear. Which that's a really hard, that's a really hard line to find in when you get into climbing, because I've been in this for like 3 years, and I always think, man, I really need my own stuff, but then everyone else always has gear when I get invited to go that it's never been it's never been a problem not having gear.
So think about this: when you have your own gear, guess what happens? You can take girls out on dates.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is very,
Yeah,
very
if you have
true.
your own gear, you can literally guide them.
But listen,
Even if they already know everything, you can
let's
still
go like this.
We'll use my gear.
Yeah, but honestly, don't lie to me now.
Uh-uh.
If I was to come up and say, Rhett, I got a date, I'm going to take her outside climbing, can I use all your gear? You would say yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So see, at
100%
this
say
point,
yes.
like,
Just
that's
be
what
like,
I'm saying.
take all of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. You're right.
You know,
should still have your
so
own
I've just
gear.
I've never had to have gear, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like at what point.
I mean, we'll just share that when we basically share everything, like in terms of gear. So we just share the gear.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is what is to you? What is the right point to say I'm going to start investing money into the sport? I mean,
No.
beyond the basic shoes, harness, chalk.
Yeah, I would say right about now where you are, 3 or 4 years into the sport, and you're looking at like actually investing money into it. That's a significant commitment. 4 years of anything. That's, dude, high school. High school was a big commitment.
Yeah.
Imagine 4 years of climbing. That's a big commitment.
Yeah, I guess
You know?
that is one thing. Like I have wanted to get a rope and a bag and some quicks.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been always wanted to get my own crash pad.
Yep. Totally. The pads are, they're a good investment because you don't need that many of them to do like safe bouldering and just get a work at it outside,
Mm-hmm.
But all that other stuff, the ropes and the quicks, so expensive, especially when you're buying your own gear and you're
Like,
not getting sponsored, you're not getting donated, you're buying all of your own, shit.
And it's times like that it makes me happy that I'm not pursuing trad climbing at this instant.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully soon, but man, like, it's like, I think Gabe was saying the other day he wants to build up his trad rack. I'm like, I do not have the money to do that.
Yeah,
at all.
But in his defense, he makes great money.
He does. He does make no. I think he should. But I don't have the money to.
Yeah,
build
that's
it.
why I'm looking. Which not sponsored, but wish we were.
Mm-hmm.
Black Diamonds Camelot C4s for a set of them are only $256.
That's true.
So I mean, you can really start getting into it.
That's something to save up for.
Yeah.
It's either that or it's like ice gear. If you're gonna drop that much money, it's either ice gear or it's trad gear.
Which sometimes the two go hand in hand.
They really no, they definitely do because stoppers. If you're doing mixed climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mixed climbing, for those of you who don't know, is you're climbing on rock and ice, but you're using ice tools and crampons and stuff like that. But you're mixing it, you're switching back and forth between climbing on ice and climbing on rock.
Yeah.
And so for mixed climbing, you're using a combination of ice screws, which is a D-ring, or a bolt for lead climbing, attached to a big hollow stainless steel screw. Actually, I think it's aluminum. Anyways, you screw it in to the ice at roughly a 90-degree angle, and then you flip this lever down that's attached to the D-ring, and that locks the D-ring in place.
Is it a 90-degree angle, or is it?
It's basically 90 degrees. It's like slightly above, but it's not this. It's not that.
It's not that, but I thought it was about like.
It's about like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Slightly more than 90 degrees, or I guess that'd be less.
Yeah,
slightly less, but not 45 degrees. That's too much.
So probably like 75 degree.
Yeah, 75, 80. Yeah. So then you have a D-ring,
protractor out here,
and then you put a quick draw into the D-ring of the ice screw, and then for the rock you use trad gear, you use stoppers, you use cams and stuff like that.
Cams,
Hex nuts, yeah, those are all stoppers, and then cams are those gears that we've talked about before, that interlocking sort of mechanism. But hexes and nuts are literally, nuts of just a 4-sided piece of aluminum, and the hex is a 6-sided piece of aluminum, and you basically place it into a seam inside of like a crack, where the piece of metal is above and the cable that is attached to the piece of metal is going down, and then you clip into that loop of cable. So when you fall, all that force is being generated down on the stopper.
Mm-hmm. But like when you're doing that, does it completely, say you take multiple falls and it's being like pulled into the rock, does it ever like start creasing that it becomes unusable?
Yeah, Andrew Yates was actually telling me last night that he fell on some stoppers and they just got jammed and he just had to leave them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he couldn't get them out.
Okay.
When he finished the route and he was cleaning it, it just got so jammed down in there that he just couldn't get them out. And it's not that it's unusable, it's that it's stuck. Because all a stopper does, it just keeps wedging further down on the rock. So it gets to a point where you can't. And when you're mixed climbing, you take that axe and you smash it, and you pound it down into.
Well, don't they have they're like little bars like this that are called like hex tools?
Yep.
That you use to pop them out.
Yeah, they do, but sometimes it just gets really, really stuck in there. Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't really know anything about trad.
Yeah.
Except the little bit that I've looked up.
Yeah, exactly. None of this is from experience. More of it's from secondhand knowledge and just like studying it, but never actually really doing it. But yeah, with mixed climbing, you take the butt of your axe, that point at the bottom, and you just jam that down onto a stopper and wedge it further in the rock. So you can actually get better stopper placement mixed climbing than you can trad climbing.
Yeah.
But trad climbing, you're mostly using cams when backing up with stoppers.
Yeah. And cams are just so expensive.
I mean, yeah, one C4 is like $80.
But you get a whole set.
And a whole set for like, what, 200 or something like that?
256.
256.
Not that I'm sponsored.
Yeah.
I wish I was.
Yeah. Well, me too.
Yeah.
I wish we both were, as Chossy Conversations was sponsored. Maybe soon, though.
Yeah. Black Diamond, if you were listening.
Ouray Ice Park, if you're vetting our podcast for the festival, vet
really
no further. Yeah, we're really stoked. Yeah, we're actually really excited. We're just climbers trying to get out there and have a good time climbing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if anybody like major shows up to the festival, not to be a talk like any sort of guest speaker, but just shows up.
Oh, just shows up to climb.
Yeah,
yeah, and it wasn't like a scheduled like pro athlete.
Yeah, like when Alex.
I've been thinking about that.
Like when Alex
too.
Holland just showed up at Horseshoe Hell. Like,
yeah,
he just showed up to be a competitor.
Yep.
No one knew. I
don't know, man. I bet. I kind of think Conrad might show up. I just don't think he's going to be one of the speakers. I think he's going to show up. And he's gonna go crush something.
If he shows up, I will have to try not to lose my cool.
Same. I will fangirl out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will totally just start freaking out.
I feel like it's like you go up to Mr. A, I podcast. You know,
he can't breathe, and I really like you.
And he's just like looking at you like, okay,
this guy needs to chill.
He's like, podcast. I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah.
And then security's like, hey, don't talk to him.
Yeah, that's how it would go down. That's exactly how it would go down.
Yeah, don't want that to happen. I really I would.
Maybe Jimmy Chin will show up. I'd lose it.
That's another one.
Dude, they don't live that far away.
No, Jimmy Chin lives in Jackson Hole.
Yep, and Connor lives in Bozeman, I think.
And it'd honestly just be on whatever they already have on their agendas.
They were probably at the Bozeman Ice Fest, I bet. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's like right there for Conrad, so I'm sure he was. I didn't check.
Unless he was gone on expedition.
Sam Elias was there. He's hitting like every ice festival this year. I really want to score an interview with Sam Elias. Sam, if you ever listen to this, bro, I really want to score an interview with you. You're cool.
Honestly, if Chris Kalous showed up.
Oh, bro, I would lose it, dude. Chris, oh my God.
Shout out any of our listeners, if you enjoy our content and want to listen to someone else, check out the Enormocast with Chris Kalous.
Yeah.
What's the other one that he was?
The Runout.
The Runout.
Yeah, that's the Runout is Chris Kalous and Andrew Bisharat. It's actually Andrew Bisharat's podcast from what I understand, but Chris Kalous he does it with him.
Yeah.
But it's mostly Andrew Bisharat's, and he's also a writer as well.
Yeah.
He's a climbing journalist. But yeah, no, if I met, oh man, I would lose it if I met Chris Kalous. He's such an OG dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really would love if he listened to this podcast. That would mean the world to me. It really would.
If he was a regular listener,
he's been doing a Enormocast for like over 6 years.
Dang, I really enjoy listening to it.
He's like the longest running climbing podcast there is.
He's one of the only climbing podcasts other than ours that I know of.
Oh yeah, there's the Runout.
Yeah, I mean,
and then Rock and Ice has one.
Okay,
that's pretty cool. It's like different people's stories and stuff. There's a few climbing podcasts out there.
Yeah, the only ones I'd really ever known before we started doing this was a normocast, and Eric Horst's climbing.
Oh, training for climbing.
Yeah, training for climbing.
Yep. Yeah, he's a really knowledgeable guy.
He is very knowledgeable.
Yeah, he is.
A little drier on the podcast, but I still enjoy listening to it.
Yeah, you have to be, Eric Hurst stuff, you have to be extremely invested in to sit and listen to it. Not necessarily because he's boring, but the content that he's talking about is so heady.
Yeah.
Like you have to be like so zoned in and focused and dialed into everything.
That's what I'm saying. I like the content of it because I actually like reading his stuff more than I like listening to the stuff.
Yep.
But maybe that's just the way I learned.
He's a good writer, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good writer. And as a speaker, he's pretty dry, but he's smart as a whip.
You know who else would be really great? Arno.
Oh, man, Arno. He's a legend down here in the South.
Yeah. I would like to talk to him.
Yeah, Warrior's Way.
The espresso lessons.
Yes, that's right. You've been reading that.
Yeah. I'm not far in it.
Arno Ilgner. Yeah, you all should look him up. He is absolutely like hardcore OG Southern climber all over the. I mean, he's really popular all over.
If you have any blocks, like when it comes to like high wall climbing,
like mental blocks, the Warrior's Way is all about overcoming mental blocks in climbing and how to direct your attention and redirect your attention. It's really fascinating stuff. Well, actually, I would love to use some of those principles for USA.
That's use the espresso lessons because it's the condensed version of the Warrior's Way.
Gotcha.
That's what I was reading, and it's how the application of the Warrior's Way over the full Warrior's Way.
Right.
From what I get.
Espresso lessons. Yeah. So what do you think about it?
So far, it's really good. He's the only thing it's hard to follow him as a writer is he starts a story or an anecdote and doesn't finish where it goes.
I've noticed that. I've heard him speak a lot. I met him.
Yeah, so he was talking about going and climbing a project in North Carolina, and he was talking about like how, he had the mental block of it was raining, they were tired,
yep,
the drills were heavy, and so they just bailed off of it, and he kept saying, "Oh, I want to go back," but then every time he'd get a chance to go back, he'd find an excuse not to do it. So, and then he just ends the story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He doesn't tell if
he doesn't finish it. Yeah.
It's just. Yeah, so I saw this guy, and I was like, I didn't want to tell him I was climbing because I didn't want him to say anything, and then he said to me, well, I want to climb, but I can't, but I can belay you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. And then he goes, see, it's this little mental block thing. And I was like, well, wait a minute, did you finish it or no?
Yeah. What's the rest of the story, dude? Yeah, he does. He just ends his thought in the middle of the story. Like, oh, well, I really
Which I do that too.
But you become really invested in what he's saying, and then it just stops. And you're just like, what? This is bullshit.
Yeah, I wanted to just sit down and have a cup of coffee and be like, finish this story.
Yeah, finish the story. All of these. You have like a list. Yeah. Just like headings from different stories.
My top 10 favorite Arno stories. Yeah. Finish these
right now. Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah, y'all should check out Arno. He's pretty dope.
Yeah, especially if you live in the Southeast.
Yep. And you can probably just see him around lots of different crags. I met him before at the Ascent, but I've also seen him around at Foster's before. I think I've seen him at Obed. Yeah, he climbs hard. He climbs hard, and he cares a lot. He's just a cool dude. He's just nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arno's just dope. He has a really unique perspective on climbing.
I think there's a lot of like OG climbers that have just such unique perspectives. Like I don't think you get to that point of climbing without coming to that unique climbing headspace.
Yeah, something that's been really hard for me to get over is thinking about, okay, so this is someone's personal belief in climbing. I don't believe in it at all. How do I reconcile that as like, they're entitled to just a different belief, which you are. People are entitled to a different belief, but, I coach, and I want to shape the minds of the people that I coach, the kids that I coach. And, like, sometimes they have different views on climbing that I really don't agree with.
So I think the answer is twofold.
And I'm trying not to get bent out of shape about it.
I think if you look at the age of a kid, like if you're specifically talking about you don't like the views of, say, a kid and how they climb, they're still young enough that their life experience is going to change their views on climbing.
Yep.
So someone who's 14 and says, "Oh, I only enjoy gym climbing. I never want to go outdoor climbing," excuse A, B, C, and D.
Right.
And they think that, speed climbing is the end all be all of climbing. That's the 14-year-old opinion, but
right.
By the time they get to 18, 21, 25, their life has changed so much that then they might be saying what you agree with.
Right.
Being outside is kind of a pure way of climbing, red point, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And speed climbing fucking sucks. Speed climbing freaking sucks.
Don't feel bad. This is an adult podcast.
Yeah, I know. I still try to watch it, but
I try not to. Yeah, and I try not to cuss like a sailor, but like I'm still gonna drop the odd shit.
Yeah. But like we said, speed climbing is not real climbing.
It's not. Yeah.
No.
Can't argue that one.
But then you look at someone else as an adult saying, "Hey, this is my views on climbing, and this is something that they have been shaped into themselves."
Mm-hmm.
I think it becomes then, yes, they're entitled to their own opinion, but you are also entitled to your decision not to have to climb with that person.
That's true. That's very true.
So
and I try not to do that too much, but I gotta tell you, man, it's just like my climbing is about my enjoyment in climbing. It's about what I'm getting out of it. It's a self-centered activity for everybody, no matter if you have a partner. The reasoning, the motivation is self-centered. It's about you.
Yeah.
And if you don't like climbing with somebody outside, don't subject yourself to that. Just don't.
No.
There's plenty of people that I like as people, but I can't climb with them outside because I don't like the way that they view it. They make it competitive, or they make it all about the send and not about the adventure and the journey.
Or don't trust them with the lays.
Or about repeats. Yeah. It's just...
Yeah.
Or they're bitching about the approach. It's just, man, it's just...
Anything that causes you to say... To have a complaint with climbing before you're even 10 minutes into it.
Yeah.
Like, that just ruins the whole experience.
It does ruin the whole experience.
I mean, it's one thing to get in and, you're happy to be climbing, and then you get there and you just are having an off day, and then you kind of start complaining about it, because I think that happens to everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You climb like trash, and then...
Yeah, because you've been so excited, so the rest of the time you're like, you're grumbling under your breath. You wish... you hadn't even went out that day because you're just so mad at it.
Right.
I think that's a difference. But if you're complaining within the within the first one or two problems, or you're just wanting to stay on the easiest stuff because you can complete it,
mm-hmm.
then that's when you start having a problem.
Which, there's nothing wrong with staying on easy stuff, because you can complete it if you just enjoy the climbs. But if you're gonna do that, don't be bitching about everything.
Well, don't. But then that's also the same as saying, or to me, it feels like it. Trying to think of the best way to say this is, because we talked about,
mm-hmm.
people that just want to do repeats.
Right.
People who live for that repeat. But if every time you go and you want to hit the same 5-7 because you can complete it,
mm-hmm.
and you try to use that as an excuse that it's your warm-up, but you don't hit any of the other 5-7s around, then I kind of start having a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean...
Because
I guess so. I mean...
Because what happens if this climb over here is more your style, and you're just totally overlooking it because you can get the 1-5-7?
Yeah, but I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's their ultimate decision in climbing, that they can decide what they want to climb, and if they just feel like climbing that same 1-5-7, then that's cool. But for you and I, that doesn't necessarily mean we want to go out with that person.
Yeah. Okay, that is fair.
I don't have a problem with it, but if I'm gonna go out with you,
yeah,
I'm trying to crush when I go out. I'm trying to climb hard.
Well,
I enjoy my lackadaisical just a sense, but I have to try something hard in the same day.
Well, there's even a difference of saying, okay, I'm going to hit this, and then, go back 5 or 6 months later and say, I want to make sure I can do this. Or, you hit, say, we go to Obed 6 times, and only 3 of those times I still complete the same route. But I have time in between it. I do other stuff, and I try other stuff.
Right.
I think that's a little bit different than every time you're going out, you just hit the exact same thing to start.
Right.
I get tired of that.
Yeah.
That's like when we went to Rocktown. I didn't want to stop and warm up on the same place we've warmed up the last 2 times we went.
Yeah, exactly. Just want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Get on different climbs because
Exactly.
it just gets boring climbing the same stuff. Just move on. So I really want to get Guillotine now. Guillotine. But to be completely honest with you, I think I need more pads because it goes right up the apex of that boulder on that face, and the top out is a little slopey, and I need more pads, more than 3. I definitely need more than 3 pads because that's like a 22-foot high ball probably.
That's how I felt on that the V1 on the arete of that climb.
Yeah,
like I felt like that's what was sketching me out was the fact it was so high and only had a few pads.
Yep.
I think that was definitely one. Like, if I want to get into highballing, I think I do need a little bit more pads.
Yeah, more protection. I mean, you see how many Nina Williams, she comes V10 highballs, they're like 40 feet, and she has a mountain of pads up her.
Yeah, that's true.
She's hitting hard. She's landing hard, but there is no chance in hell she is hitting anything other than pad when she falls.
Yeah. And
that is a huge safety net. And I don't have anything against it. I have more props to her because that is some sketchy shit. Yeah. But that's a huge safety net.
Let's say it like it is. Her keep having that many pads is what's keeping that 40-footer from going out of highball territory into free solo territory.
Absolutely.
We talk a lot about, the weekend warriors that watch free solo once and think that, a 20-foot highball is a solo.
Yep. Or just a regular boulder is a solo.
Yeah. And it's...
God, I'm so sick of hearing that. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
If I have one more redneck walk up to me and tell me that he soloed once because he climbed on top of a barn or something at some point in his life, I'm going to lose it. I'm just going to be like, buddy, not today. I haven't had anything to eat, and you piss me off. This is the day. You're just not going to get the nice version of me.
You can't really call it just the rednecks, though.
It's not the rednecks, but I will say it's those Boy Scout, never really done anything outside, but somehow is qualified to teach it to other people kind of vibe. Yeah. And they all always have something to say.
The person who went rock climbing one time outside because a group of friends went.
Which if any of our listeners were in the Boy Scouts, I apologize, but sometimes I get really annoyed by Boy Scouts.
I was never in the Boy Scouts.
I was in Cub Scouts for a very short amount of time, and I hated it to a T. Man, I hated it so bad I had to quit. I was like, I cannot.
So I remember being in school, and the Boy Scouts would come, and they would talk and try to recruit into the Boy Scouts, and I went home. And because I was like, oh, this sounds awesome. You get to be out. You go to camp. You get to be outside. A, B, and C, and that was during the time a lot of serious allegations were coming out against the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
That I never I don't fully know what all happened, but I remember there was some serious stuff going through, and my dad's like, no.
Yeah. Yep. My parents were like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Which was great for me.
You snuff out the problem.
Yeah.
You snuff out the chance for the problem.
Yeah.
By keeping away from it. Mm-hmm. Well, if more people understood that, maybe we'd have smarter people in the world.
Yeah.
But
whatever. Yeah. That's how big climbing accidents happen.
Yeah.
They just don't think ahead. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe that's too deep. You go down. Sometimes on this podcast, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes on this podcast, I have to really fight away going into the rabbit hole. I'll just get an idea in my head, and I'm just ready to jump.
It's not even the fact that the thought process goes down a rabbit hole. It's just the fact that rabbit hole leads to rambling.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
And if this podcast was the Joe Rogan 3+ hour podcast, that'd be fine. We need to vamp.
Yeah, so Logan, we did Christmas Day, Kings Bluff night climbing.
That was amazing.
First time night climbing on sport, right?
Yes.
Yep.
First time sport climbing. Second time any type of climbing.
First time sport climbing at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And we did one night bouldering session before that.
Yeah, but short mountain.
I see more night climbing in our future. It's just such a great time to get out, man. Especially in the summer. That's going to be the only time we could be climbing is at night.
Which, yeah, but I mean, that's not a bad thing though. Like,
no, absolutely not. Yeah, so we went Christmas morning. We went night climbing, or Christmas night we went night climbing, and went up to Kings Bluff in Clarksville. Good place. Yep. And it was so beautiful outside that night. With the stars were out.
Yeah, you could see everything.
I literally I climbed up some easy 8s and 9s and stuff, and I got to the top of the route, anchored in, went off belay, and just turned off the headlamps and just went into the stars, and it was amazing.
It was really cool, and I really liked it because, you know, as I first got into climbing, like we've talked about before, you know, I had that thought process of, you know, finally, like, why am I procrastinating going outside climbing? Because there's no, you know, most places are free. There's nothing saying you can't, you know, just go to it.
Right.
And then the same thing happened with night climbing. Well, you know, where in the rule book it says you can't climb in the dark or at night?
Yeah, nowhere. It doesn't say that.
It's just whatever you feel comfortable and safe with.
And we can access Kings Bluff because, you know, we're part of the SCC.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Yeah. It's a great place to go. It's super chill. It's a nice place to night climb. It's quiet out there. So you can hear coyotes and stuff across the river.
It was creepy hearing that, but it was really something. Like, there was no one else there. It was quiet. You could barely hear the sounds of the road.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a totally different. You get in a totally different headspace with it.
I agree. Yeah. So, anyways, it was a good Christmas. It was a nice time. Saw your family down in Sevierville as well.
It was that was definitely. It was fun.
Yep.
The Monday night we got the news from Ouray. And we kind of partied a little bit.
Yeah, we partied a bit. Yep, we did. Yeah, we went and played some pool. We got a lot of hugs from this one lady who was allegedly a mom.
Yeah,
and she
shout out to that mother.
Yeah, who just kept going, I'm a mother, I'm a mom. And she just kept giving us hugs. We're like, okay. You're also very drunk.
And I'm just such an affectionate person. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
you know,
hugs.
whatever.
And I'm so anti that affection that I was like, this lady's freaking me out. Are you paranoid? Are you freaking out? Are you schizo?
And I'm just like, hey, yep, we're doing this. Yeah, we're going ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, it was a fun night. It was a good time.
Yeah.
This time in Sevierville. And looks like we're going to do some training tomorrow, getting up for Ouray. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a great trip. We're probably going to do a show on the road in the car.
That's going to be fun.
We're going to do a show with Joe in Des Moines, and we're going to do, hopefully, several interviews at Ouray.
Yeah.
We can maybe even backlog some of those, but...
probably either do it as one big Ouray show, like do multiple interviews and then put it together as one big Ouray special, or do multiple shows at Ouray.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess it depends on how much time we record. You know, we're going to have real interview questions that are like planned out for them. And
oh, yeah. It's going to be really, really cool.
It's going to be really well thought out and all this stuff, and we're really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I cannot wait.
I'm 100% excited for it.
Yeah.
And you know what I just thought of?
What?
When this episode is released, it'll be the first episode of 2020.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
that's
we're
crazy.
Going into a new decade.
Where's my extra beer hanging around here? We have a toast. We should have brought extras.
We should have brought extras. We didn't think ahead.
We'll go get some after this podcast is over.
Oh, yeah.
We'll celebrate. You guys just won't know about it.
Well, you all celebrate too because, hey, we are going into the new year with this podcast.
And this is episode 5.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
5 episodes. I feel like that's a hallmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because...
That's pretty dope, actually.
Yeah, because this is a difficult thing to do.
It is. It's a lot of work. Research is a lot of work.
But I would rather do
stuff.
this than anything else.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a fun job to have.
It's all because I like you guys.
Yeah. Love the audience.
Love the audience. Love the sport.
Yeah, and hopefully we get some more people listening in. So I think that's all we got. That's our show.
Yeah,
so
wrap it up.
Yep. So, anyways, this is Rhett Lundy, your host, signing out.
And I'm Logan McGaha. Stay Chossy, you Choss goblins.
Yeah, Choss goblins.
Oh, speaking of which, this is a after credit scene because we're Marvel.
Yeah.
We are looking at starting to do T-shirts.
Yeah, comment on the video if you would be interested in a T-shirt.
Yeah, we got some cool designs coming up, and we want you all to enjoy it and rock out our swag.
And one of them might be a Choss goblin, so think about that.
I think one of them is definitely going to be a Choss goblin.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a Choss goblin. You guys should buy one.
Yep, so anyway.
Now we're signing out again. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.